What's up guys, it's Missy. I'm back with another SimCity build-up video. Today we're going to be doing a low-level contest of mayor's walkthrough for the city Mr. Malvin Sexy Pants. You're not going to believe how many times I screwed up that introduction from laughing, like 3 times. Alright, so we're going to begin with a task assessment and a comm breakdown. And setting the scene. Actually, setting the scene is the first thing that you always do. He's a level 24 player with a little bit on his experience bar left, so he could do a regular residential upgrade if he absolutely had to. He's not at max storage, so he's definitely not going to be moving up past level 24. And let's see, I don't know if he put in his prep here. No, he didn't. Okay, so he would have prepped feed. I don't know what else he prepped. So let's go ahead and do a task assessment because he didn't do that either. So you're going to go through, you're going to label everything, premium, non-premium, main, rotatable, no touch, cancels, all that, okay? A main task is a task, and I'm going to label these on a normal week, not a double. This is a double week, so whatever I'm saying as a normal week would be double. So for example, on a normal week, a task is considered rotatable if it is 2,000 points or lower. Dude, I am screwing up today. A main task on a normal week is 2,000 points or higher, okay? Anything below 2,000 points is considered a rotatable assignment. Anything that has the ability to be worth at least 3,000 points is premium. Anything that does not have the ability to be worth 3,000 points is non-premium. Anything that can be worth more than 3,000 points is high premium. Okay. Now, a no-touch task would be something like the monster under 2,000 points. So in this case, it would be under 4,000 because it's a double. Let's see. No-touch tasks are tasks like upgrades below 2,000 points. They're going to be no-touch cancels if they're anything higher than that, because there is a possibility that you may need to cancel them. Doesn't mean you will, it just means you might need to be able to. Okay, so let's see here. The first one here is, and know that shop productions and factory productions cannot be worth 3,000 points except for electrical, which he doesn't even have unlocked. That being said, low-level players consider shop productions and factory productions as premium. Minerals would be a premium assignment in the streaks. At least that doesn't require any significant downtime. We're not going to be doing the streaks till around 20 tasks remaining after we stack up all the upgrades and factory productions. Okay, so the next one is a premium main task, upgrade war disaster. This is also limited, meaning it can only be done until you run out of cards, right? So you have to constantly keep adding cards back to your inventory. Then we have a premium main hammers, premium feed on rotatable. He has 45 factory slots unlocked, which means that he would have 2 slots of feed that he would have to make up for after that. I don't think he has any ads left, so he's not going to get away with doing that really quickly, I don't think. So that would be 2 rounds of feed. Now, assuming that he prepped the first round, then he would be able to do this assignment sooner rather than later. And I want you guys to know that for low-level players, the technique for you guys is you prep feed, and if you get it in your list and you can avoid it, if you have multiple other doorways and it's not a really decent value, then you would try to avoid it, okay? If you get too close to the streaks, you're not going to do it. So usually what you try to do is you try to complete the feed task within the first 20 assignments. If you're not going to do that, if you don't have to absolutely do that, then you don't complete it at all until after the streaks. Otherwise, you risk it coming back repeatedly. The next one is a non-premium Paris at rotatable value. We have a non-premium repair at rotatable value. Now, this would be 1,600 on a normal week. The only time that we leave repair to sit as a last resort rotatable, which is right before the streaks to bring in any upgrades or factory productions, is when it's at 1,200. Okay, so at 1,600 we would rotate this. Same with the keys, if it comes in worth that value. Okay, so the next one is a last resort rotatable non-premium coins. This has a pretty decent algorithm on it. Usually comes back within 2 to 6 rotations. So if you're right around 28 tasks remaining and you're looking to get in your last minute upgrades or factory productions, this would be what you would want to rotate. The next one is a high premium. It's very important that you guys know the difference, okay? A high premium Latin at its lowest value point. So this would be 1,200 on a normal week, and it's there for a low value, which means that you don't have to worry about that assignment coming in worth 7,200 points on a double week, which is great, okay? So at least we've got one thing secured. The next one is a war booster for 1,000 on a normal week. Now, this one is a non-premium assignment. It can only be worth 1,000 points. It doesn't have a high algorithm attached to it, but it has a risk attached to it, more than most tasks. And this risk is that because of its value, it usually, not just because of its value, but usually what the game does whenever you do a 1,000 point assignment is it usually gives you a 3,000 point assignment in return. Now with this particular assignment, it usually kicks back an upgrade. So if you recently got an upgrade, now would be the time to rotate in the war booster to see if you're going to get another one so that you can roll all the upgrades in as quickly as possible and then cancel whatever it is that you need to before it's too late. Otherwise, you end up whittling away your assignments, then slowly stacking in the upgrades to a point where you can't cancel, but to a point where they just block off all your doorways, and you don't want that to happen, okay? The next one is a monster at no touch value, non-premium. Okay, that has an extremely high algorithm attached to it. It's also limited time. It can only be done while it's there, so it's just a headache is all that assignment is. All right, the next one is a premium VU assignment that is at its lowest value point, which means that there is minimal risk when rotating this assignment if you rotate it too early, when you don't have any upgrades and you have a lot of other doorways. You want to make sure that you use your other doorways first before rotating this. Okay, then we have a design challenge, which you don't do because you're camping, so that counts as one of your upgrades. He has to stack up 7 upgrades before the streaks. That means that he has 2 of them already secured, so he needs 5 more, okay? All right, let's see, Epic. Epic is at its lowest value point. Now on a normal week, this would be 800 points. Normally you have at least one 800 point task in your list, which means that he already has the design challenge. So if he had to rotate in the Epic, he could do so without it coming back as an 800, or without it being a high risk of coming back as an 800 point task. The first choice would be obviously the War Disaster. It's the highest in the list, premium, good opportunity. Okay. Now he gets a 1,200 cargo. Now, that's on a double week. That's a 600 point task after doing one assignment. That is not a good sign, but it's not, doesn't mean he's falling into reverse rotation. It's just, it's not a good sign. All right, so the next one, what's the next highest in the list with best op? That would be the hammers, right? Premium, good opportunity, highest in the list. There you go. Does the hammers. Cool. Now he gets wood for 35.40. Now he has feed prepped for, and feed is there for 37.60. Here's the thing. Do we want to take that much downtime right now? No, not yet. Not this soon in the contest, okay? You also have to account for the fact that this is active war. So the right choice would be to assess your situation, look at your list as a whole. What do you see happening? Well, he can either stop now and waste a pretty good portion of his day in active wartime, or he can do the Paris deliveries and get possibly several more rotations out of it, and then do the feed a little bit later. That's what I would have done, or at least advise he do. Okay, another thing that he could do is, since it's 2 rounds of feed, he could pick up all but, let's say, 5 of them, okay, and do the wood assignment, and then the feed. That's another option, right? Again, probably the option I would take. I don't know how he plans to do the feed, if he wants to, I don't know if he has video ads or what, but saying he doesn't have video ads, that would be the way to go. Would be to pick up 5 of the feed, or sorry, pick up 35 feed, leave the 5, and then he can deal with that feed after the fact. He just did the feed. This was a mistake. Okay, this was a pretty good amount of downtime, I'm assuming. So let's just double check. So here he did 4 days, 21 hours. 4 days, 21 hours. Can't read that. 4 days, 15 hours. So 6 hours. So yeah, he took the full downtime for the 2 feed and didn't get anything else done in the meantime. So that would have been a mistake. Okay, so now he gets keys. This is a non-premium assignment at main task value. So obviously he would do it, so he does the keys. Now he gets a 1,600 on a normal week. Regular residential. He could do this assignment if he wanted to, but he doesn't need to, and honestly, I wouldn't waste the experience on a 1,600 point task. I usually would recommend you do one that is either in your starting streak or at least at 2,400 points. So at this point, right now, the next thing to do would be the wood, which he does. Okay. Now here he gets textiles for main task value. He's already taken downtime for the feed. He's only 5 assignments in, and he's lost like half a day already. Now, I played competitively this week, and at this point, I was already like 40 assignments in. Okay, so to be 5 assignments in is not a good thing, especially for a 2,000 point assignment. It's just barely main task value. It has downtime attached to it, and it's not for 1 round, it's for 2 rounds. So significant downtime attached to this. He would want to do the Paris delivery. Also, keep in mind that he hasn't really moved doorways. Okay, so he does the Paris delivery. Says he started prepping techs at this moment. That was a mistake. Unless you prepped just 10 techs, which I'm assuming he did. Okay, now if he prepped 10 techs, okay, that's not too bad, but you want to be careful. You may not even rotate this. Here's the thing. People think, well, I already prepped it, I might as well rotate it. And that's not always the case. You know, you have to account for the fact that it could come back repeatedly. Now, one thing that you guys will notice when you watch these walkthroughs is that, and I think I brought this up in Star's walkthrough, was noticing the pattern of repeat assignments that don't have high algorithms attached to them. Looped assignments, you know, like remember when I told you guys that doorways kind of have their own outlets? Like, let's say doorway 1 has an outlet of text, feed, and metal. Let's just say that. So that you keep going back to doorway 1 and you keep getting the text, feed, or metal. And then you get some random assignment in between, and then you get a repeat of either the text, the feed, or the metal. And it just keeps happening all the way throughout the contest. That's what you don't want to have happen with assignments like this. Doesn't mean it's going to yet, but it just means it's something you want to watch for, okay? So here we have the Paris. He does Paris, and he gets London deliveries for 2,000 on a normal. Obviously, that would be what the next choice would be, okay? Now he gets a 6,000 upgrade. Okay, so does it really make sense to cancel right this very minute? No. 7 assignments in, 3 upgrades out of 7. One of them were 6,000 points. It could sit there for the duration of the contest and not block anything off, especially since it's not even really his good doorway so far that we know of. In other words, we could cancel this and it could just come back as another problem. So the next thing to do would be to determine if we're still going to get decent assignments or if we're going to have to cancel. That being said, he can go with the repair disaster for 1,600, or he can go all the way down to the bottom and do that war booster for 600 points less to hope that he gets an upgrade in to cancel. I would not recommend that just because of how many other assignments he has already in here. I would go with the repair VU. Okay. Now he gets plastic and he does techs. Now this right here is what makes me want to smack him. Okay. That tells me that he did not prep 10 techs. That tells me he prepped 40 techs. He couldn't do the plastic. And that right there is why I'm going to smack your ass, Malvin. Okay? You know better than that. And why did we prep the second half of our factory productions first? For this exact reason. He could have proceeded on and got more things done. And possibly not even had to do those stupid textiles. Instead, he's now committed to doing them because he's already prepped them. And it's not like he's going to pick up 40 techs and do plastic. If he was in my training course, if I was talking to him and he had made this mistake, he'd be picking up 40 of those, or well, 30 of those textiles. He'd be doing the plastic first, and he would be leaving 10 techs to sit. That's what I would have him do. Because either way, he still has to wait the second round anyways. At least this way, he can get the plastic done and proceed on. But he chose to go that route. Okay, so now he gets veggies for $28.80. So we're 9 assignments in. Can't see the timer on the screen here. There we go. 9 assignments in, and we're at 4 days, 9 hours. Not a good sign, dude. Not a good sign, especially when 2 of those assignments have been, factory productions that have taken a significant amount of your time. So if they become repeat tasks, you're going to have problems. Okay, so now he does the plastic, gets repair for main task value, and does that. Now he gets a high premium at 4,800. So he's got 1, 2, 3, I believe 4 upgrades in his list. And he's only 11 assignments into the contest. Out of those 4 upgrades, what other doorways does he have? Not many. He's got the coins, which he can't do yet. A really bad epic value tasks. Cargo. Veggies aren't even that great. He doesn't have a whole lot going for him. Okay? At this point, let me see what he put at the bottom of his list. Now would be the time to rotate in this war booster to see if he's going to get another upgrade so that he can do a cancellation. He did the veggies. Okay? That was a big mistake. Here, let me paint a picture for you this way. If you want to cancel within the first 20 assignments done, you have 4 upgrades already in your list, 2 of which are at main task value. Does it really make sense to continue on with these doorways blocked? Now, obviously, you're not going to cancel the old townhome because that's a high premium. It could come back for $7,200. And the parish has been sitting for longer. So what you would want to do is you would want to rotate in the war booster with the high risk attached to it. It's either going to give you a really good assignment, usually. Usually it's either going to give you a really, good assignment, or it's going to give you a high risk upgrade. Either way, they're usually at good value is what I'm trying to say. That being said, canceling is definitely something you're going to have to do. So if you know you're going to have to cancel, sooner rather than later would be best, right? Okay, he went with the veggies. Now he gets keys for 4,000. Now, again, if he goes with the keys, he's just burnt 2 assignments without accomplishing anything towards opening up better doorways. I mean, the keys have a high algorithm attached to them, and you want to open up that value opportunity, yes. But right now, we have bigger issues like these upgrades. So he went with the keys, so he burned another assignment. Now he gets, obviously, a main Paris, okay? Again, at this point, I would still go with the war booster. We've got to get these canceled. And with that high assignment there, you have less likelihood of, if an upgrade does come in, it being worth a high value. So I would definitely rotate in the war booster. Again, he did not do that. Okay, he proceeded on. He got another upgrade. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I believe is what we're at. 5 or 6. He has to cancel. He's got 6 more assignments before he pretty much is, you know, going past the point where he shouldn't cancel. So now, again, War Booster would be what he would need to do. Okay, so he says, I should have checked my history and noticed that upgrades were coming in. Should have probably went with VU, but War Booster was limited. So here this tells me that he is under the wrong impression. He is under the impression that since he has his upgrades in his list, he should have went with the VU to avoid getting upgrades, because he set it in his head that he's not canceling. That's the wrong thing here, okay? It's too early on in the contest to have this many doorways blocked off with upgrades. If these upgrades were at least lower value, then maybe. But with this many high-valued upgrades, and the fact that he has 25 assignments before he could even think of starting streaks, okay? And that's not even when this all started. This started 5-6 tasks ago. This really should have been dealt with sooner, okay? The closer you get to the streaks, the longer it takes for these upgrades to come back around. So he does the War Booster and it kicks him the upgrade that it's pretty much guaranteed to do usually. So now he has 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at all those. On a normal week, 2,000, 2,000, 2,400, 3,000. All main task value. That is not good. So now, if he cancels just, you know, right after getting this upgrade, it has a really high chance of coming right back. So really, he should rotate the VU. Wait, he has Latin there again. So he has 1, 2. Hold up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he has all 7. All right, pretty sure. Yeah. All right, so, okay. At this point, look at it this way. He has to go 24 assignments with all 7 upgrades in his list, or he has to cancel one, okay? Right now, you don't cancel with the high chance of them rolling in. You want to get a couple of assignments out and then cancel. So now he's got the corn that he does. Look at it this way. Let's go back and look at his screenshot here. If we entertain the notion of leaving this upgrade, or these upgrades to sit, what doorways do we have available to work? We have the VU doorway and the cargo. All other doorways are pretty much useless. Epic usually keeps coming back around. Coins, same thing. And then there's no more after that. We can't work one or two doorways for 25 assignments. That could really hurt our average. So he does the corn, saps, now he gets repair. Now repair is a high algorithm assignment. So he does repair for 1,600, okay? Now he gets sugar. Now sugar we don't do, especially at this value. So he's got cargo, epic, and coins. He really needs to cancel. He goes with the epic. Why? I don't know. He really, if he was going to pick out of these 3, the cargo would have been the better of the choices, even though it's slightly lower in value. 1, the lower in value it is, the higher chance you have of it kicking back a higher task. And 2, it has a less likely chance of coming back than an epic project. Epics also have downtime attached to them once completed. And given that he's 20 assignments away from streaks, by the time this thing comes back 3 or 4 times, he'll be just right before starting his streaks, and then the epic will be popping up in the streaks more than likely. So that would not be good, okay? I would have went with cargo. Actually, no, I would have canceled the 6K upgrade that came in. Now he gets keys for 1,600 on a normal week. And Again, high algorithm task. There's his epic again, which we knew was coming back around. Okay. There's his war card upgrade. War deliveries. Tokyo deliveries. Epic again. So now he's done 60, 60, and I believe 30. So he's already up to 150 points on his epic. One more epic assignment, and that doorway's closed off. If it closes off with an epic task at a high value, that's just another thing going against him, which sucks. So now he gets keys again. There's his epic again. Ouch. Now he's way too close to the streaks to cancel. He's got another main task against him. And all these upgrades stacked up. Okay, so basically his only other doorway is cargo and coins. Now at this point, he can start the streaks if he absolutely had to. But what I would do if I was him is I would rotate in the coins to try to get the feed or the glass secured. And I'm not really sure what he rotated in, but now he has grass, London, Tokyo. There's his prep. He would not do feed unless it was in the streaks, so my guess is he prepped that for the streaks. He gets a war card upgrade. London. Okay, so there was the coins. So yeah, he did rotate coins. So, wait a minute. What is going on? These screenshots are... Hold up. 26. So something's missing here. 24. 23. 22. Yeah, so there's a couple screenshots missing right here. We went from 23 to 20. Either way, he gets coins, then he gets London. Now he's got veggies, chairs. Okay, so he secured the glass, which is good. That'll at least help him there. Now here's where he makes a big mistake, okay? He had about 3 more tasks that he could rotate. So he had a couple of choices. He can either rotate the keys and then rotate the repair, hoping that that breaks the cycle and brings in the feed. Or he continues off with the repair and does his last 3 assignments that he can and then starts streaks when he has to. He does the keys, then he gets techs. Ouch. Okay. And shovels. So he never proceeded back with his main list. He never even tried to get the feed back in the main list. When he got the textiles, he had to pick up all that feed to make the techs. He should have not started the textiles assignment, done the repair, in hopes of getting the feed in the main list. London, plastic, there's techs again. Probably shouldn't have rotated those at the beginning like we were talking about, huh? And that was for 2 rounds, unless of course he paid cash for the last one there. Okay, now we're at 2 days, 8 hours remaining in the contest. He gets coins, bricks, grass, Paris, Tokyo, VU. Okay, now he picks up where he left off and he makes another mistake. Big mistake, okay? What did he do wrong? He has 1 day, 19 hours remaining. He only has like 2 assignments left. Why the hell did he do seeds for almost 1,000 points less than glass? Does that make any sense to you? Because it sure as hell doesn't make any sense to me. He could have easily done that glass. Yeah, it's 2 rounds, but he only had like 2 assignments left. You kidding me right now? Okay, now he does the glass. Okay. And that was the last assignment. Doesn't make any sense, does it? Now, here's the thing. I had a player do this, I believe it was last week, and they lost over like 110 points or something. All because they didn't take in those couple extra points at the end. Never, ever do that. What are you doing in that 1 day's time to where you are in such a hurry you have to get these 2 assignments done? That was just unnecessary. Now, you're really going to kick yourself in the ass if you lose over those couple hundred points, don't you think? Now, granted, if, you know, there aren't that many people anywhere near close to your score, you have a high likelihood of winning, but why even take the risk is what I'm saying. What's the point in that? I don't see a point in that. So, Malvin, hopefully you've learned something from this video. Maybe it helps, I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are and what you're confused about or whatever, and then I can help you. Normally this player does really well. Most of the times with low-level players, they get confused on either their rotation or they're canceling upgrades. So they either like don't know what to rotate and when because of risk or opportunity, or they get in these situations where they have blocked off doorways, they're not paying attention, and they don't follow the storyline of their week. You guys really need to start following the storyline of your week. Try the best that you can to watch the history of your assignments. The best thing that you guys can do is, as you're taking your screenshots, if you go back through, if you start to get in a spot where it's like, okay, I'm not doing so well, whatever, go back through, flip through your screenshots, and look to see if there was something that you missed, something that you should have done. You know, look for your doorways, all that good stuff, okay? Pretend that it's not your week and that you're grading somebody else's week, and see if you can see it from a different perspective.